Danny, it's all yours.
Oh, Duff, hold on. Can I say something here?
Go ahead.
Okay, for Alva, there is an agent in the office that has a property in Caution that it's not on the market yet, but I know it's going to be in the market. What's his name? The commercial guy that, like he just told me that a couple of days ago. It's around the same area in by University, close to the Dominguez Hills. I think it's going to listed at 600, so maybe that will fit for your client looking for that property.
All right, Jay, you'll contact Wendell then.
Wendell, yes, exactly.
Thanks, Jamie.
Hey, no problem.
All right, so let's get into Glide. Sorry here, we're out of echo. It's the only way I can figure out how to get the audio to be clear. But Glide is a member benefit with C.A.R. It's been around for 2 years now. It's really mainly for disclosures, but they've added in new features where you can do e-signatures and do your PAD forms, which is kind of a harder issue to do now since most people aren't tech savvy enough to do it, or they have to print it out and meet with the client. So it's a real one-click. I'll show you guys how to get through it, but the easiest way is to show you guys how to link it if you haven't set it up already. So going through it, if anybody's noticed now with the C.A.R.org, so this is zip forms online for it. I don't recommend using the standard version because you have to have it on your desktop and you can't access those files because it's not really connected to the internet. There are settings that I can go through with you to actually set that up, but keep using the online versions of anything. That way, if you come in the office here and you have to print something, we can easily get into your account, log in, print it out, and that way the form is accessible for e-signatures or in person. So the new transaction portal here, so you go to C.A.R.org just like you would normally do. You log in at the top right, so you can see where it says, "Hi Daniel." That's me logged in at the top. And you have 3 options here now. So you have your transactions, which is by Lone Wolf. So that's your zip forms, win forms, whatever you guys can remember it by. That's the access to it online. And then Glide is that purple icon there in the middle. And then on the right-hand side, there's tips that you guys can go over later on. I have a feeling that that's going to be a placeholder for another member benefit that's coming later on in the year for it. So for Glide, you're just going to click on the Access Glide here. As soon as you log in, it's simple prompt. So you're going to go through to set up your account. You just hit continue on it. You're going to choose who you are for it. So obviously this can be used for anybody else in the industry, but we're going to be using it as a real estate agent for it. And you can see I already have a zip forms account set up. So you want to make sure that you confirm that for it. So I have my danny@dannyfredericks.com email that I use for zip forms. And you want to make sure that that's linked. If it's not, you click on here to having trouble linking it. You log in through your credentials to C.A.R. and that makes sure that you have access to everything as your member benefit for it. If you've already had a profile done, it's going to ask you to re-put in that information or to confirm it. So this is your generic screen. You're going to type in your phone number. You can upload a picture. You can put in your brokerage address. So this is just like you're setting up zip forms for the first time, but now you're doing it for Glide for it. Once everything is linked here, see if it's still going. You'll see at the bottom here, you have the option to check your management system. So you can choose zip forms for it or Glide, whatever you prefer for it. And then whatever e-signature tool you use, whether it's the digital ink, which is the free member benefit through Lone Wolf. It can be DocuSign that you pay monthly for, or it could be the new AuthentiSign, which is the 2.0 for it. So all those features there, as well as Glide Signature, which is a new feature you guys can use. You don't have to use it, nope. It is simpler, so I would recommend using it over zip forms. Since that is the new product for C.A.R., it's going to have a lot more updates. At least in my 9 years of doing the online software with zip forms, it really has had feature enhances to it, but it's never really changed. The user interface on Glide is more intuitive, so like it's going to be easy for you to figure out stuff without having to call me or call C.A.R. because it just the icons are where they need to be. In zip forms, it's kind of a Frankenstein monster where you don't know where everything is and there's too many bells and whistles to it. Glide is very simple, where it's you pull the forms in, you send it out for signatures, or you send it out to get filled. That's it. That's all the software does. 3 things. So unlike the other one where you can fax, you can do documents, you can save PDFs, you can split them all. This keeps it very simple where you just do the 3 things that we need to do on it. Yeah. Same thing, yeah. So almost all the member benefits all have the 5-year free storage for it, so you can save your PDFs. So there's no reason for any of us to be printing out files and saving them for it because it can all be saved here and we can access them anytime. That's free. Oh, it's asking you just for your recommendations. I don't think it actually saves the settings for us. You can choose to use zip forms if you want, or Glide. I'm switching over to use Glide purely from now on because they have access to all the libraries. That was the difference before, is zip forms through Lone Wolf had all the C.A.R forms and you had to pull them into Glide. Now Glide has all the forms in it, so there's no reason to do them back and forth. So once you log in, this is your main screen with the transactions. So just like how we had the tiles and stuff in zip forms, you have them all listed here as well. To go through the video here, see if it will play. Correct. Yep. They'll be able to access it. You want to turn on, I don't know if the volume is on for them to hear. Yep. Let me double check. Let's see. Okay. Let me reconnect so they can hear it here.
In this video, agents learn how to select and send documents for e-signature for free using Glide Signatures. Glide Signatures is free within transactions that contain a primary listing or buying agent who is a verified C.A.R. member. Sending a document package for e-signature is a 2-step process. Select the documents you want to send, review signature parties, and form tabs. There are 3 ways to select documents. You can work from the Documents page, Disclosures page, or Signatures page. Let's look at each option. Go to the Glide homepage and select a transaction. On the left menu, click Documents. On the Documents page, check the box next to each form you want to add to the e-signature package. Click e-sign on the bottom menu. Here's the second option. Use this option to select some or all of the forms in the Disclosures package. Select a transaction and click Disclosures on the left menu. There are 2 ways to select documents. Select All or select Some. To select all, click the e-sign button. To select some, check the box next to each form you want to send and then click e-sign on the bottom menu. Here's the third option. Select the transaction and then click Signatures on the left menu. On the Signature Requests page, click the New Signature Request button. Scroll down to the Select Documents heading. Now you're ready to select documents. There are 2 ways to add documents, Upload and Insert. To insert a file, click the blank field, scroll through the list, and click a file name. The list shows the folder and file structure on the Documents page. If you need a specific file, but it's not saved on the Documents page, it won't appear here on this list. In this case, you have 2 choices. Upload the file from your computer, or stop the workflow, go back to the Documents page, and add a file from the library. Forms you upload or insert display under the Select Documents heading. Repeat the steps to add documents to the package. Before you move on to the next step, you can review and customize choices on the Prepare Signature Package page. Make sure the Glide Signatures option is checked. Click the X icon to remove a file from the list if you want. Make sure you check 2 default options. Glide automatically checks the box to add signature tabs to PDF forms in the package. We suggest you leave this box checked. Glide pre-tabs form placements so agents don't have to do this step themselves. Uncheck the box to remove tabs from the forms before sending out the package. Glide automatically checks the box to replace the unsigned original with the signed version. We suggest you leave this box checked because it helps reduce the number of transaction documents you need to manage and avoids confusion about whether there are fully executed documents. Uncheck the box to save the signed form on Glide with a different file name and keep the unsigned form in the transaction. Now that you've selected the forms, you're ready to send the package for e-signature. In this step, confirm the list of people to receive the e-signature package. Click Continue at the bottom of the page. All relevant parties already existing in Glide will appear. By default, Glide sets listing side or buyer side transaction parties as need to sign, which means the clients you represent will receive the document package. Click the X icon to remove a party from the list of signers. At this stage, you can choose to add more parties as signers by clicking Add a Recipient. On the Preparation Tools page, you can scroll through the form and inspect the signature, initials, and date tabs. Glide does not always pre-tab every area for signing and initialing. For example, when a request for initials is optional. If required, add tabs for any signing party on this step. On the left menu, click the arrow and select a party on the drop-down menu. Each signing party name is color-coded. Locate a place on the form that needs a signature, initials, or date, and then drag the corresponding tab to that spot. Release the mouse, the tab is added to that location. To move a tab, click and drag the tab. To delete a tab, click the tab one time and then click Delete on the keyboard. After reviewing the tabs, click Continue at the bottom of the page. On the next page, you have one more chance to review the document package and recipients before sending it out for e-signature. Add a message, that's optional. Click Continue at the bottom of the page. Glide sends the package to each signing party for e-signature. That's it, we're done. In this video, agents learned how to create a document package and send it for e-signature.
All right, so that makes it a little bit easier for you guys to understand. You can see that the breakdown for it is very similar to zip forms. It's just a very fluid interface compared to before. Let's see if I can control this again.
In this,
there you go. The other option you have is under the buyer prospects. So this is where you'll list in any buyers that you're working with. And this is where you're going to use that PAD form integration. So once you have the buyers listed on it, they can send out PAD forms to multiple properties, which makes it very simple. Or if you're logged into C.A.R. MLS, you can actually click below the property map, click on it, and it'll actually link it right to your Glide, pull in those clients, and send the PAD form off. So there's a short video on this one too for you guys to see how that actually goes through.
In this video, you learn how to create a PAD form as a buyer's agent. Glide makes it easy to create, send, and manage your PAD forms all in one place. Let's start on the Transactions dashboard. On the left menu, click Buyer Prospects. On this page, you can add potential buyers and generate and manage documents. You can also change prospects to deals once they go into contract. You can keep all your PAD forms in one place and easily regenerate new forms. The first step is to create a buyer prospect. Click New Buyer Prospect. On this page, add the buyer's agent. Select your name on the drop-down menu. You can add a co-agent if you want. In this video, we're going to add just one agent. Click Continue. Now let's add buyers to the transaction. You can add more than one buyer to a PAD form. I'll show you how Glide manages multiple people visiting multiple properties. I'm going to add 2 buyers and then click Continue. We added one agent and the 2 buyers. We created a profile page or overview for these prospective buyers. You can add additional documents like the Buyer Representation Agreement. Click Documents on the left menu. For now, we click Fill and sign a PAD form. On this page, add the property address to the PAD form. On the guided interface, you can check the box to add listing agent contact information. If you check the box, Glide automatically sends the agent the fully executed PED once completed. Add more addresses if you plan on visiting multiple properties with the same prospects. Glide makes it easy to create PED forms. Click Continue. This page provides a summary. You can see the agent and 2 buyers that we added. You can add more entrants if you want. We'll add a property inspector for this example. In this field, you can list potential exceptions. Glide has copied the same exceptions that C.A.R. lists on the form itself. If you have any questions on how to complete this section, please seek counsel from your attorney or your broker. Next, Glide generates the PDF form. If the forms do not generate, make sure you verify your C.A.R. credentials. Glide automatically separates the forms for you, in this case, 2 for each property. The form only allows for 3 signers. Since there are 4 visitors to each property, 2 prospects, the agent, and inspector, the system is smart and separates them for you. 3 signers on one form and 1 signer on the other form. We also have 2 forms for the second property that we plan to visit. From here, you can download the blank forms with visitor names and property addresses, return to them later within Glide, or send them for signature. Let's click Send for Signature. You have 2 options to send documents for e-signature: Glide Signatures and DocuSign. If you select DocuSign, make sure you log into your DocuSign account and then move through the workflow. In this example, we select Glide Signatures. On the next page, add a message or change the email subject if you want. Click Continue. An email message is sent with a request to sign the form. After you send the document for signature, Glide returns to the PED Requests page. If you need to send the PED form again, click the Resend button. You can also click Archive if you or the buyer cancel the property visit. Click the Action button on the right to preview, download, or delete the form.
After all parties sign the document, the PED status changes. The Waiting for Signature status no longer displays.
That's it for now. In this video, you learned how to create a PED V form as a buyer's agent.
Features with that is, as you're filling out the forms, you can put in the listing information into it, so the name and the email, and you guys never have to send that PED form again. With zip forms, you have to either wait for them to send you that attachment, or you have to log into C.A.R. again after it's been signed and send it. This way it's all automated. At least with our listings that we've noticed is we get all these pre-formed out PEDs that are done, and they're using Glide. I'd say it's probably only 50% of the agents are out there, and it's because they don't know that this feature is available. To make it easier for you guys, there's about 4 or 5 videos for it, and I think I changed this already. So it's just trgrealestate.com/glide. So you guys can all go right there right now and watch. There's about 5 videos for you to go through. I think that's it, yeah. Correct, yeah, so zip forms already sunsetted, or this year is gonna sunset for the National Association of Realtors. Since we developed the product through C.A.R., it gave us additional time. So this is pretty much their backup plan for it. It's also good to change out software and vendors over the years. I think we've been with WinForms since the 90s. And then somewhere in the 2006, 2007, it changed to zip forms. And then about 5 years ago, Lone Wolf took it over, and they really haven't changed anything to it. So that gave opportunity for a new company to step in, and with the technology and everything being easier, you can see with Glide, like you guys are gonna be, there's an app also for it that I'll go over when we do our mobile class, but just try it out on the desktop. That way you know all the features for it. The app works just the same way as the zip forms online, so keep that in mind.
Thank you, Danny. So I know this is brand new, and I know it's going to be tough for a lot of the agents, especially if you're old like me. What I tell our agents, especially when they're coming in and they don't know e-signatures, is go onto the program, set yourself up as the agent, the buyer, and the seller. Make up names and use your own email for everything. and just send out a couple simple forms so that you can see how it works. You can see what your client sees and play with it, right? If you're old like me, or it's just kind of like something you don't want to deal with, like Elva, for example, you can always have an assistant or somebody else that can help you with this. Lastly, you can use Lisa for $275. Have your transaction coordinator do all of your paperwork. But this is the future. This is the easiest way to get this paperwork.
And the Glide software is very simple. When you first set up your transaction for it, it asks you, do you have a TC? All you have to do is put in their email address, and they get full access to those documents for that client or transaction. So keep that in mind also.
Yeah, I'm impressed when I work with agents, and these are typically veteran agents, and they don't do any paperwork. The TC handles it all. So that's another option, and it's very affordable here at TRG.
And if we need to look at any paperwork too, you guys can add us as a TC to it as well.
Yeah, we can make it easier, and at some point we'll even get Lauren to go digital in the company, so we don't have to have a room up there full of papers that we're sorting.
Sure. I don't understand why Lauren can't just do it. She's the one that wants our finals.
Oh, just do it all, right? Just yeah. Well, she will for the 275. She'll do it. She'll do it. Okay, so
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question.
Question.
Oh, is it me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yep, knees on.
Okay. So for TC, who is the person?
Lisa.
Lisa?
Lisa.
Oh, you mean
and
Lisa?
Lauren.
You mean our office?
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
And Lauren.
And
Okay.
I can tell you, it's much cheaper than what I pay for my TC. I pay
Okay.
$400 for Suzanne.
Good.
Well, fire her.
Yes.
Well,
All right, I'm done. Thank you, especially you guys for showing up here. We have burritos. I've already had my birthday cake. Happy birthday to all the February birthdays. Make it a great day. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Bye.